I have been dying to test this foundation on camera. This video I'm super excited about. It's the VIRAL Urban Decay Face Bond Foundation. Now this foundation is not marketed for dry skin. It says it can work for all skin types. When you look at Sephora's website and you see for the skin types, it says normal, oily, and combination skin. I'm neither of those. I'm super dry. However, with the weather getting warmer, let's see how well this performs on dry skin, because we're gonna sweat a little more, especially if we're outdoors. The sun is hitting us, so maybe this can do well. I do think for a foundation like this, skin prep is going to be super important. As you can see, my skin prep is already done. I have my eyes done already. This morning when I did my skin prep, I used an exfoliant, my hyaluronic acid, and a moisturizer. And for primer, SPF, I'm using the NYX Blur Screen SPF 30. I'll have everything linked below in case you're wondering what I'm wearing. It'll all be down in the description box below. So I thought it'd be interesting to do a 2-day wear test. So this foundation can be applied 3 ways. You can use your fingers for a more full coverage, you can use a brush for a medium coverage, and you can use a sponge for a more lighter coverage. I typically don't use my fingers to apply foundations. I prefer using brushes. So today on day 1, I'm gonna use a brush, and tomorrow I'm gonna use a sponge to see if it improves how it wears or if it makes a difference for dry skin types. Let's talk a bit about this packaging though. Look how gorgeous it is. This packaging, it's plastic, so it makes it travel friendly. It's 1 fluid ounce. It's your standard foundation size, but it's just so cute. It's perfect if you're traveling. So if this works well, this might be my vacation foundation. We'll see, because the about face still has my heart. So I went ahead and gave it a good shake. The shade I got, I don't think I said, I have shade 12 Light Neutral. They claim it's a medium coverage foundation. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna squeeze, just tiny bit on my hand first, that much. I'm gonna work a little at a time because I have heard that this is a fast drying foundation, and it's a matte finish, self-setting, waterproof, and it's a liquid to powder formula, which is very interesting. I've been dying to wear this foundation. Oh my god. Calm down. Let's start applying. So I'm going to use my Nisa Beauty brush. I love this foundation brush, especially because of the shape. And I went in and I just dabbed what was on my hand into the brush fibers. I'm going to go ahead and start applying. Hopefully you don't hear my neighbors mowing their lawn. That went on really nice, really easy to blend right into the skin. I'm gonna grab a little more from the back of my hand. So I'm gonna squeeze just a bit more out, because you saw what I squeezed out the first time was just very little, enough for this side of my face and the chin area. So I'm gonna squeeze a bit more, about the same amount that I squeezed the first time. Pick it up from the back of my hand and start applying. Oh wow. Okay, so I went ahead, I just applied it all over my face, and wow. I worked in light layers, as you saw. I like to work in light layers when it comes to makeup. You never want to go in super heavy. You can always build up, but to take away, it's a little harder. The shade match is a good shade match. I got lucky, thankfully. Like I said, I got 12, which is light neutral. The foundation comes in 40 shades, which is amazing. Touching it, it's dry. It has settled into the skin, not settled like into my pores or anything, not like that, but like it's set, it's down. It's not going nowhere, I don't think. It feels very lightweight, I have to be honest. I don't feel like I have anything on my skin so far. I mean, I just applied it. I'm not noticing any settling of any kind or separation, which is a good start. Let's see, this is gonna be a wear test, so we're gonna see how it performs throughout the day. And I will agree that it is medium coverage. I have a little guy right here, and it did a nice job at kind of covering it up. No texture or pores seem to be emphasized right now with this. Nothing is like standing out. It's looking really good. When I say I was so excited to try this foundation, so excited. I love the packaging. I love the little squeeze tube. Like I said, this is perfect for traveling. If you're going somewhere, this is a good foundation to take with you, just because of how lightweight it is. This is not bulky packaging. There's nothing fancy about it, but it's so cute. It's simple, it's minimal. and it's light. The foundation is formulated with 3% niacinamide, and they have the patent pending precision dropper. With that patent pending precision dropper, whoa, you get a no mess precise application, which I have to agree with. It's not messy, at least from what I'm experiencing right now. Nothing is leaking out. Everything looks fine. It's a really nice, very thought out packaging. So they say it's supposed to feel lightweight and comfortable, and I have to agree with that. It's definitely lightweight and comfortable. I'm gonna go ahead and finish off my makeup off camera, add some bronzer and blush, and I'm gonna use powder products to see how it does with the application. So the powder bronzer seemed to apply seamlessly over it. There was no skipping, no patchiness. It went on smooth. Okay, so now that the makeup look is complete, there's one last thing I want to do before I go about my day, and that's do a white paper tissue test. I just want to see if it transfers. I just want to see how well it does with the self-setting claim. I want to see if there's going to be a lot of product coming off on the tissue, or are we going to be surprised and hardly have anything on this white paper tissue. So nothing on it. Now let's see. I'm really pressing it in. Oh my gosh. Let me do this side. No way. No way. There's like nothing on this. I'm shocked. I'm so surprised. So one last thing I'm gonna do. I know I said the tissue test was gonna be the last, but the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set one side of my face using the Kosas Cloud Set Setting Powder. And I'm only gonna do that in case you're a person who needs to set their makeup, or you just don't feel comfortable like putting on foundation without having powder on top, or maybe you're super oily and you need that. Again, I'm not oily. I'm not someone who sweats profusely, but for the sake of this video, for the sake of the claims of the foundation, let's try it out. So I'm gonna take my setting powder and I'm just gonna set like right here and this side of my forehead. So we have this side set and it's looking good so far. It's not looking like super powdery. And first impressions with the makeup complete, everything put together. These are my thoughts. I am surprised by how lightweight it feels and how my skin is not looking like it has an excessive amount of powder. It looks like I'm not wearing any foundation, and it feels, I mean, you saw the white paper tissue test. It's down. It's not even on my nails. It's completely set. I am surprised, if you can't tell, and my excitement, I don't think you guys know how happy I'm feeling right now. I don't know if it's really coming through the camera, but I am excited and I'm praying so hard that this foundation works. I'm not noticing the foundation clinging to any dry patches. Again, it's not emphasizing any texture, any pores. Everything is looking good. Coverage is good. No separation. But again, I just applied this. So I'm gonna come back. It's currently 11 o'clock. So I'm gonna come back in 8 hours. We're gonna do an 8-hour wear test, and I'm gonna give you my final thoughts of day one at the end of the day. I'll see you guys in a bit. Guys, it has been 8 hours. We are back. It is currently 7:15 p.m. and I have to say I am impressed, super impressed with how this foundation is wearing. I wanted to love it and I'm so glad. I mean, I shouldn't get excited. This is just day one out of many days that I will continue to wear it, try it, and gather thoughts. But so far, it is wearing beautifully. I did a light workout and I did sweat a little, so that's why you're seeing some shine right now peeking through. Other than that, this has not budged. When I first applied it, you guys saw I did the white paper tissue test to see if it transferred, and that white paper was white still. So I thought we'd do another one. Like I said, I worked out a little. I did sweat a little. Before we do that, I'm gonna show you guys a close-up of how everything is currently looking right now, so you guys can get an idea or so of how it's wearing. I hope you guys were able to tell. Hopefully you're able to pick up how it's wearing 8 hours later. It's a beautiful wearing foundation. It hasn't separated around here, which is typically where I would have separation with almost any foundation that I've worn, but not with this one. It hasn't separated. There's no settling into any fine lines. It hasn't faded off. It's not looking patchy. The products that I applied on top of it, my bronzer, my blush and everything, still look pretty good. I should also say I did not put any setting spray. You guys saw I did not put any setting spray. I did not touch up my makeup throughout the day. This is just it on its own, how it's been wearing. There is just like a very small dry patch right here. I mean, it's so small. I don't know if the camera got that, but it is so minor, it doesn't even bother me. I am really loving the longevity of it and the wearability of it. Like I said, I think it's perfect for travel, especially because of the packaged design. So if you're traveling anywhere, I think this is a good foundation to take with you if you've tried it. And I want to know your thoughts down below. If you've tried it, let me know your experience with it, because I know it's kind of hit or miss like with any product. And if you haven't tried it, is this something that you're now interested in trying? I really want to know your thoughts. Like I said, we're going to do the white paper tissue test again. Here's my clean white tissue, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pat my makeup. Very little this time, not much, probably because I was sweating, but you see mainly my lip gloss on this, which I just applied. I hope the camera is able to pick up what's on it, but it's not much. I'm impressed. I am loving it. So this has been day 1 of the Urban Decay foundation. I really hope this day 1 test helped in any way. Be back tomorrow, day 2, when we test it out with a damped sponge. I really think, I'm going to emphasize this, I really think that your skincare is key. Like I said earlier this morning, I did exfoliate. Tomorrow I'm not going to do that. If I exfoliate one day, I'm not going to exfoliate the next day because I have sensitive skin. So tomorrow should be a little more interesting to see how it wears, being that my skin prep is going to be a little different, and so is the application. I'm very interested in seeing, and I cannot wait to share it with you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right guys, we're back. It's day 2 of the Urban Decay wear test. I am excited for another day. Yesterday we applied it with a brush, and today we're going to be applying it with a sponge. Sponges typically give lighter coverage. Being that this is a matte foundation, not really marketed for dry skin, a sponge might be more suitable for us because it'll add extra hydration with the moisture from the dampened sponge. So let's see how it does today. Yesterday it did amazing. So today I did not exfoliate, but I did cleanse and just moisturize. I didn't even use my hyaluronic acid, and again I'm using the NYX Blur Screen SPF 30 as my primer and SPF today. So without further ado, let's just get right into the foundation. As you can see, I already did my eyes and concealer. Again, everything is going to be listed down below, so let's get right into it. I'm going to go ahead and apply a little bit on the back of my hand like I did yesterday. I love this applicator tip. I still wouldn't apply it directly on my face like I know a lot of people like to do. I would still work and take my time with this. So like yesterday, I'm taking a very small amount, and with my finger I'm going to just dot it on. I'm gonna work one side at a time, and let's start patting it out. So there's one light layer with the sponge, and it's definitely a little lighter coverage. So I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. Foundation is on. I love the way it looks. It's definitely lighter coverage. You can still see one of my blemishes up here and a little breakout right here. Overall, it's looking good, and I would say it looks more like skin today than it did yesterday. And again, I think it's because we used a sponge, which is gonna absorb a little more product. I'm gonna leave it here. I think it looks good for where it's at, what I like. I'm not noticing just yet any dry patches or it clinging anywhere. Again, it's not emphasizing any texture or pores. It's looking really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish off the rest of my makeup. Everything will be listed down below, like I said, and I'll be right back with some initial second day thoughts. Makeup look is done. One thing I did yesterday and I want to note is I powdered the right side of my face just to see if it needed it, just to see how it performed. Personally, I did not notice any difference or felt like I needed the powder. But again, this is someone with dry skin. If you're oily or combination skin, you might want to add some powder, just depending on how your skin reacts. If you have dry skin like I do, you most likely will not need to add additional powder unless you're out in an area where your skin changes a bit and you're sweating. Then I would say go ahead and add just a touch of powder. I don't think you're gonna need much. When I did my test yesterday, I found that it looked and wore exactly the same. I didn't need the powder on top of it. I am gonna still do powder on this side today as well. Just letting you guys know it's not something that's needed. I still can't believe that this is a liquid to powder formula and you can just go right in with your powder products and it looks good. You don't need to set the foundation. I'm mind blown. It feels more lightweight with a sponge than yesterday with a brush. I mean, yesterday it felt lightweight, but today it's even lighter, if that makes sense. Yesterday I went ahead and did the white paper tissue test. Let's see how it does today, being that we applied it with a sponge even though it's set. So now let's go ahead and see how this does. I really pressed it in there the way I did yesterday. You guys saw. I'm not noticing much of anything, just a tiny bit from the right side, and you see my lip products, my lipstick on there. But other than that, it's looking really good. I'm gonna go ahead and set this side of my face. This is it. This is the finished look. I'm gonna go ahead and see you guys back in 8 hours to see how it's looking, and I'll get a natural light shot as well. My wonky braid and I are back. It's been 8.5 hours. It's currently 8 p.m. here, and I have some thoughts about this foundation. First, I want to do a close-up of how it looks currently 8.5 hours later, applied with a sponge. I hope the camera is able to pick up what's going on. With the sponge application, you still get decent coverage with it. It's definitely a nice amount, but it's not as medium-ish like when I did it with a brush yesterday. Also, I feel like with the sponge, it looks even better on my skin. Not that it looked bad yesterday. As you guys saw, I was super excited. I was raving about how excited I was and how much I loved the way it looked. So it didn't look bad with a brush. Definitely not. It looked good. Here's my little like warning, if you will. If you don't prep your skin properly and if you don't exfoliate, if you're someone who tends to have a lot of dry patches and you go in with the brush, it will emphasize. I had just a very small dry patch, which wasn't so emphasized, but again, if you're someone who suffers with dry patches, then I can see that happening. If you don't do your skin prep properly, you go in with a brush and it will emphasize the dry texture more. With the sponge, I'm not noticing any emphasization. I'm not noting any emphasized dry patches or texture or anything, which again, I wasn't noticing that yesterday either, but I'm not noticing it. It's definitely much less today. So overall, my thoughts on this foundation is that I'm really excited with it. If you can't tell, I'm going to continue to wear it, continue to build my thoughts properly, and I am launching my blog. It's coming back soon. I'm very excited. So I will have a full blog post with an in-depth review of the foundation. But right now, overall first impression of my first 2 days wearing it, it's very enjoyable. I think if you have dry skin, you can wear this foundation. Don't let the claims scare you away. Don't let that it's a matte finish scare you away, which brings me to my next point. It's a matte foundation, yes. I'm definitely not shiny or anything. I did not work out today. I had a very easy day. All I did was edit the video and do some laundry, but it doesn't get shiny throughout the day unless you're someone who's oily or have combination skin. However, speaking just to us who have dry skin, if you're watching this video, I'm assuming you have dry skin, but it's also not going to make your skin feel so dry. You know, those foundations or just any skincare product really that you put on your skin and it feels like it sucked up every bit of moisture you were trying to preserve for your skin. This does not do that. It feels so lightweight. I feel like I have nothing on my skin. It's a natural finish and the most natural looking foundation. So overall, you can't go wrong with either way you apply it. If you have a night out with friends or something and you want your makeup to last all night, you want that coverage to be there, definitely apply it with a brush. If it's just a day out running errands or something and you want to just look put together, a sponge will do just fine. What I love about this foundation as well is it feels like it's one of those foundations where you know how it's gonna wear, so you don't have to worry about it. It is definitely a long-lasting foundation because it's a liquid to powder. There's no need to worry about any separation, any sinking into fine lines, or product moving around or anything like that. This will just, once it's set, it's set. It's definitely true that it is a self-setting foundation. So this is a foundation I would wear if I have an event or going on a date or out with friends and I want to make sure my makeup is gonna last. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to touch up. This is the foundation I would go with. 10 out of 10. Amazing foundation. Urban Decay did a great job with this foundation. So if you've been on the fence about trying this, I hope this review has been helpful. I hope you would give this foundation a try. Let me know, leave your thoughts down below. And if you've already tried this foundation, let me know your experience with it because I know it can be different for everyone. I also want to say I've been emphasizing skin prep, but I don't want you to think that you have to go heavy with your skin prep either. Keep it at a neutral state where your skin, when you feel your skin, assess your skin, and when you feel it, that it feels hydrated, it feels moisturized, and it feels good to you, that's when you can go ahead and apply. I don't think this is something where you need to go heavy with the emollients and oils or anything like that. But let me know your experience with it, and if you haven't tried it, I hope this video has been helpful. Leave any questions, comments, thoughts down below. I look forward to hearing from you. I hope you have an amazing day wherever you are, and thank you so much for taking time to just watch this video. I'll see you in the next one.